TitleMatchNetwork.com.
What led to I guess Southwest getting taken off USA and then they get replaced with was All American Wrestling from WWF?
Well, that is another thing that you can attribute to vision. Okay, we got on. We were the USA Cable Network's #1 rated show. They really almost. I did something one day that was probably not wise, but I did it anyway. I said, we'll show them how. I said, television stations are run by ratings.
Right.
Go ahead, what's next?
We were just talking about USA
and I was telling you about how...
An unwise decision, but you did it anyway.
Yes. Well, I understood. See, I studied radio and television in college because I knew I'd be in the wrestling business. Right. And it doesn't take you too long to grab a hold of the fact that the pros were not looking for any 5'11", 195-pound wishbone quarterbacks. And they couldn't throw anymore because I'd been in a car wreck. I was in a real severe car wreck, which if you ever noticed, I've got a scar underneath my right arm that runs from just out of my pec to the middle of my back. And all my lat muscles were severed when I was, before I went to West Texas State. And it really hindered my passing ability. Like disintegrated it. So I knew that there was never going to be a chance for me to play pro football, which I had always dreamed of. And when my arm was healthy, I could throw with anybody. Irrelevant of who they are, I could throw with them. I wasn't tall, but of course Doug Flutie makes it. You don't have to be tall, but when that happened, it killed my football career. Even though I still played and enjoyed and all that kind of stuff, but I knew that my life would not be football as soon as I got out of college. And so I studied because I knew wrestling would be in my life and I would be in it promoting. I always thought promoting more than wrestling.
Right.
And so I studied television because that's the future of that was the whole business. And so we had the opportunity to pitch the USA Cable Network, and we got a deal with them. We had to pay them $7,000 a week to get on the air. And we had some visions on how to make the TV show pay for itself, but didn't have the knowledge and didn't have the people around us with the knowledge to make it happen. So you got a fledgling. Fledgling would be like an infant, but no, we weren't fledgling. We were thriving. But when we lost Houston and we lost our TV show in San Antonio, our cash flow died.
Right.
Okay? So now it is like a huge monkey on your back to pay $7,000 a week to be on the air and not have the show generate any revenue for you.
Right.
We tried to get a hold of some other promotions to see if they would help. We were not NWA because now Fritz is running San Antonio and NWA and all that garbage.
Right.
And so we were like the outlaw group. You know, we're like independents are kind of now.
Right.
Except we were not just independent, we were an outlaw. And so I wanted to show the USA Cable Network that we were valuable to their programming. So I said, I forget just exactly what it was. It was give us your favorite match or tell us what you want to see.
Right.
You know, you pick a match or something like that. And I put the USA Cable Network down, their phone number down. Their switchboard was inundated on Monday, and they called up highly irritated. I said, well, golly, there's a lot of people watching it. So anyway, but at whatever point they decided that they didn't want to have us owe them any more money.
Right.
And Vince either paid the deal off and
That was
whatever. He came in heavy duty and had the know-how and the power and the machine behind to make it happen.
Right.
And they did. And he's certainly riding the crest of the wave. So.
I guess we'll talk about your college football career.
Okay.
What was that about?
What was it about?
Like as far as
It was about free education.
right.
It was about not having my parents have to pay any money for me to go to college, and trying to be a star. Basically. I graduated from a 4A high school in Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Winston Churchill, and where I started for 3 years at quarterback, and had scholarship offers from most of the Southwest Conference schools. Of course, nobody knows what the Southwest Conference is anymore because it's gone. But Southern Methodist University, SMU, was in Dallas, Texas, and I chose to go there. Hayden Fry was the head coach, and he later went on to Iowa for many, many years. I think he just retired in the last couple of years. And was a new experience for me. Wasn't quite what I had expected. It was preparing people for the meat market of professional sports, and because high school you're a volunteer and you play and you become moderately famous or get a reputation or have your name in the newspaper occasionally. It is kind of neat, but college it's a business.
Right.
You don't get paid. You get free education. You get room and board and things to eat, but you don't get paid. But they put the pressure on you as if you were getting paid, and so you got to make some adjustments there. And I don't know if I adjusted well or not. It took me. Hayden Fry got fired in the middle of my freshman year, and boy, that just devastated me. They changed offenses, changed coaches. The head coach that came in didn't know me or a lot of the players, and so all of a sudden you're dealing with a whole. You're trying to find a reason to be there,
Right.
I guess. And we didn't get along, and they moved me from quarterback to fullback, and I didn't know how to adjust to that. I came back to school my sophomore year, bigger and faster and better shape because I decided that I wasn't going to get beat just because I wouldn't get run off. Just because they changed positions, because I could play football. I was an athlete. And they moved me from fullback to defensive end. And my gosh, I was really shell-shocked. I mean, I was 19 years old, and I was shell-shocked. And how in the world all this stuff was gonna all work out, I didn't know. And I ended up at the end of training camp, 3 days. I ended up second team defensive end, running down the kickoff team. I was a quarterback, wanted to play quarterback, and so I before the first game I decided to drop out of school because I didn't want to waste a whole year of eligibility running down the kickoff team.
Right.
And so I dropped out of school, and was really probably one of the best things that ever happened to me as a student. I was really not a very good student. I was smart, but I didn't try hard
Right.
because it came easy, so I didn't try hard.
Right.
Athletics didn't come easy. I had to work at it. And so I developed my ability, but in the classroom, it was, what difference does it make?
Right.
You know, it's who you know, not what you know, you know, in life. And so, excuse me. And so I dropped out, went back to San Antonio, and worked with my dad, producing the TV shows.
That was Southwest Championship Wrestling.
Southwest Championship Wrestling.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.